I just have to touch on Arsenal. Obviously, that's who they're up against at the weekend. Can you see beyond them for the title? Or, you did say earlier on, if you missed it, that City are going to come on a gallop.
We were waiting for City's run, weren't we? But I thought he was there. I thought he was closing up, and the pressure was getting there. Looked like Arsenal were all the way. Then it come really close. Now it's gone back favourites for Arsenal, and they've got to come to the Etihad. But pressure will mount. It will increase. But they're in a good position. I think the squad depth's fantastic. Mikel Arteta at the start of the season was getting criticised, which I found was quite amazing. Former players also were doing that, saying he must go if he doesn't deliver. And I asked the question about that, and they said, well, ultimately, some of the players that they've had are winners. You do not win, you are replaced. And that's fair enough at some point. But I don't think it's as simple as it when you look at the competition around. And I think they're in a good position. I think they're going well. I like the style of play. It's a bit fiery at times with Arteta. Desperation to go and deliver and win.
You like fiery, don't you? It's part of your DNA.
We've got to be DNA. You've got to have a good battle along the way. But you know, Arsenal fans, what will be next if they don't do it? I think that is the main concern because of what we live with today. It's all theirs now. You know, Man City, you're going to have to find them a really, really top run, put the pressure back on. You know, if it was sort of neck and neck, you're sort of going, Arsenal are going to wobble, City are going to take it. They need to keep that gap where they're quite comfortable, and they've got that at this moment of time. And Aston Villa, just as they looked like they were going to do something. I was at the game at weekend and they just couldn't get in the stride, and it was sort of a well-earned away performance from Everton. So it's all pointing, isn't it, to North London and not the side that I possibly know, the other side in Arsenal.
Yes. Just finally on Arsenal then, Gyökeres, is he convincing you at the moment or not? Who would
not
you
yet.
start up front?
No,
okay.
Not yet. I think he certainly contributes. He sets the press off at the front, dynamic runs, but delivery of goals. I don't think anybody will care, will they, at the end of the season if Arsenal are Premier League champions? Look at them in the Champions League also as well. But really, we're looking to sort of make them an elite team to make sure that they win it for some years. You wouldn't say he would be that person. Is he contributing in such a big way? Yes. But it's just the next step to guarantee it would be someone who would deliver more goals. Can he get more? Would be the next question.
It's a historic Premier League rivalry. We can't wait for this one on Super Sunday. Arsenal and Manchester United renew hostilities. Right at the start of the Premier League in 1992-93, it was United who were the dominant force under Sir Alex Ferguson. And here we have got both sides' Premier League finishes since the start of the Premier League. We have got Arsenal, you can follow them in the red. Manchester United are in the black. Now, as we mentioned, United were top of the tree most of the time anyway at the start of the Premier League under Sir Alex Ferguson. But then in 97-98, someone came along called Arsene Wenger. And that rivalry really became one of the most bitter in the division. United and Arsenal swapping places at the top of the Premier League, first and second. In the mid-2000s, that's when things started to change a little bit. The arrival of someone called Jose Mourinho meant that Arsenal were left behind a little bit, and it was United and Chelsea fighting for things at the top of the table. And then my lines get a bit squiggly, and it's because both sides lost long-serving managers. You might know what happens here to Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson leaves, and then a little bit later on here, we've got Arsene Wenger leaving Arsenal. Arsenal have been in a little bit of pain since Arsene Wenger left, but none more than really Manchester United. Ruben Amorim has that league finish down there. But as we head towards 25-26 this season, it's Arsenal at the summit, and Manchester United's line is on the rise. How will the season finish? Michael Carrick, we mentioned it earlier, he has an impressive CV, having gone unbeaten against Unai Emery, Thomas Tuchel, Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta, and they beat Arsenal at Old Trafford in his first spell as interim in 2021. And we saw a warm embrace between Bruno Fernandes and Michael Carrick there, and 4 years later, Fernandes is still the heartbeat of the team, still performing at the highest level. Now, this season, we have plotted every player to have created a chance. We have got open play chances created along the X-axis, and in the Y, we have got chances created via set pieces, and this is every player who's created a chance this season. Now, if you're in the top right, you are doing very, very well indeed. Fernandez is up there, way ahead of everybody else. Most chances created from open play and most chances created from set pieces. It's almost like he does this every year. We take it for granted a little bit how good he is. Look where he is, way ahead of everybody else. And if I know people are interested at home, Fernandez obviously tops the list for open play. Second on the list for open play, you'll know him, Jeremy Doku. And second on the list for set plays is for Leeds fans. Anton Stack has created the second most chances from set pieces this season.
That's a great stat. How do you think he's going to get on, Michael Carrick? I mean, he's got off to a flyer, hasn't he? Beating the noisy neighbours.
Oh, I thought it was coming. I was waiting so long for you to quiet about it. I was at the game actually working for City, and obviously Michael I know well, played with him at Spurs. He lives right near me. And for him to get given this opportunity, you know, he was there for some time, wanting to try and progress as a manager, as a young coach. He waited and he did all the hard yards. And
news for you, James, bring us up to date.
Yeah, Arsenal forward Ethan Weri is in France. He's about to have a medical with Marseille. Arsenal agreed a loan deal with him until the end of the season. We expect this move to be confirmed in the next 24 hours. Now, this is a straight loan move here. He's seen as a key part of Arsenal's future plans, but this is an opportunity for him to get more game time. He's got a contract at Arsenal up until 2030, so important to note it's a straight loan. He will return to Arsenal in the summer, where surely next season he'll hope to get even more opportunities. But it seems a really good opportunity for him to play for a Champions League club, a club that are flying right now under a world-class manager.
And the Roberto de Zerbi. Thank you very much, James. So let's get more on the move. European football expert Andy Brassel joins us. Andy, right on cue as well. Weri, is he going to get plenty of game time at Marseille? How do you see the fit and where might he play? We've seen him be versatile at Arsenal.
Yeah, we have seen him be versatile at Arsenal, but clearly he's going to play in midfield if he's going to play for Marseille. That's where they're a little bit short at the moment. He's not playing on the right side of attack because you've already got someone cutting in on their left foot there, Mason Greenwood, who's having a fantastic season. His place is indisputable. But it's interesting. What De Zerbi has talked about throughout the season is what my team is really lacking is a number 10. So this is really interesting because I think we can look at the way that Marseille play and think, OK, we can see Weri going into a sort of inside right position. I think it'll be a little bit higher than that. And seeing as De Zerbi has talked about having this sort of mysterious number 10 that he's going to build his team around, I think that is probably the thing that's got Arteta to intervene and say, you know what, I can see him working with De Zerbi and this will really be to the advantage of Arsenal going forward into the second half of 2026.
Exciting to see how it develops even when he gets into the team. A word on De Zerbi. He didn't really comment yesterday when asked about reports linking him with Manchester United. How would you, as things stand, rate the job he's doing in Marseille?
You know what? Marseille is such a sort of hotbed of overreaction, really. It's such a passionately followed club that it's really hard to get a handle on it. I mean, from the outside, he's doing a pretty good job. He got them back into the Champions League last season. It's been a little bit more complicated this season, partly because of the rise of Lens, who are top of the table at the moment, which is a remarkable story because they've got a fraction of the budget. And secondly, because they're in the Champions League and they've got this massive pressure, knowing that PSG have had a ridiculous schedule, knowing that they're carrying a load of injuries. And there's a bit of a sense of, we have to go and win the league this season, which you should never be feeling in France if you're a team that's not PSG. So, look, I